Well, I'm going to love the next few minutes here for sure, because I'm connecting with a friend, an old friend. Not that she's old, but a friend nonetheless. And she's brought a very special guest with her. Her name is Janine Maxwell, and she founded Heart for Africa back about 3 years ago. And Janine's been on with Kathy and me before, and it's exciting to have her with us. And here is her book, It's Not Okay With Me. We're going to find out what she is talking about. But looking forward to hearing the latest of what God is doing in Africa as Janine is leading this ministry. Janine Maxwell, good to have you with us.
Thank you. It's
All
great
right,
to be back.
welcome back. It's been a couple of years.
It has.
And it's wonderful to also have with us David Kariuki.
Yes.
Did I do okay?
Yes,
Kariuki.
yeah,
Okay. And David, this is your first time in the West, in Canada, and in the States. You've been here for several weeks. You've been sharing your story.
Yes.
You're part of Janine's team. And bless you guys for all that you're doing in Kenya as well as Swaziland. Is that right?
Yes.
Janine, you were on a couple of years ago. What's been happening since?
Well, it's been a very busy couple of years. Heart for Africa started off really planting a lot of backyard gardens in Swaziland and helping homesteads be able to feed their children and children be able to feed themselves because their parents have died of AIDS. And now we've expanded, really coming alongside orphanages in both Swaziland and Kenya to help those homes that are bringing in the kids and doing the hard work, help them be able to feed those children, help them to be able to clothe them, educate them, and become self-sustainable within their own rights.
Now, going back a few years ago, I think was it 2003?
It was 2003.
That you came with Kathy and me, your first trip to Africa. We went to visit the Muli Children's Family, and we went to Zambia as well, to the Lazarus home. And it was life-changing for you, wasn't it?
Everything changed after that trip.
Because you're a businesswoman, you owned your own company, a very successful marketing company, and you and your husband were very busy with that, and God just turned it all upside down on you and turned you around 180 degrees and sent you in a whole new direction.
He really did. Yeah, we spent a couple of weeks together in Zambia and Kenya, and I came back and really, you know, wasn't planning on writing a book then, called It's Not Okay With Me, but that's really the sense that I came back with is once you go and you see what's happening, when you look into the eyes of the children, when you see God at work on the ground, I couldn't continue doing what I was doing here, running a marketing agency for 16 years. I just couldn't do it while the children were living on the street.
Now, David is traveling here with you and your team, and David, welcome once again to Huntley Street. Janine, we're going to see some video right now. It's you and David in Africa. Give us a little introduction to David first.
Well, David Kariuki, I actually talk about in my book. He was a street boy. As you see on the ground in the video here, he looked just like one of those boys. That little boy has burned his foot very badly. He has no shoe. He was sleeping close to a fire that was lit with a car tire and burned his foot very, very badly, but he has no parents. He's 10 years old. His name is Isaac and has lived on the street for 3 years. These boys eat out of garbage cans. They are beaten every night. They are abused every night. And they're living a life of hell. So our job was to go and find Isaac and build a home that you're seeing there now where Isaac and his friend James could come and live. And David Kariuki, who's here today with me, is the one who's working with those young boys. And as you can see, they're happy now. They're living a fulfilled life. And we take people over to travel with us to actually come alongside and teach these kids, you know, how to live and how to plant potatoes and things like that. And David was one of those boys many years ago.
So David, how is it now working with the ministry? You grew up in the Muli Children's Family. Yeah. Charles and Esther actually took you off the street.
Yes.
And now you're back on those same streets and you're taking in children. It's full circle,
yes,
really, what's happened in your life. And what does it do in your heart when you're actually a part of taking these children off the street? Do you reflect back when you were on the street?
You know, one thing I believe in is a transformed heart or a changed heart. I have to do something. You know, when I was on the street, I was living in a risky environment, but because somebody cared, that's Mr. Charles Molly and Esther, they cared enough, they came for me, they gave me a second chance in life, and they realized there's a potential in me, and I'm a graduate from university with a social work degree. So I'm feeling in my heart, I have to do the same thing to the needy kids. Like that Isaac is 10 years old. I can see a lot of potential in him.
Yes.
If we give him a shelter, education, and many more things to sustain him, he's going to be somebody who is also going to fish other kids from the troubled world of street life and many other places.
Our viewers are very familiar with Charles and Esther Mully, the Mully Children's Family. We've been presenting it as Crossroads Missions for several years, and Janine, you were part of one of those trips where we were gathering video and coming back and then sharing the story with our generous viewers. And we've just been so privileged to be helping out in Kenya, and now you're launching out with orphanages. How many now have you established?
We have 6 different orphanages, 3 in Kenya and 3 in Swaziland that we're working with.
And Charles and Esther Mully have given you his blessing, and he loves what you're doing, and some of his children,
That's
David,
right.
is helping as well. And there's so many children, so much need. We need many organizations, many people to roll up their sleeves and get involved. Charles and Esther, they have over 2,000 children that they're caring for right now. So I'm so happy to hear that you as well are launching out and you're seeing great successes as hundreds of children are being brought in and cared for. Now, Janine, you came with us at a point in time. You embraced these children, you looked in their eyes, and you were forever changed. Dramatically changed, really. I mean, your life totally changed, but you're bringing a lot of people with you now to visit. And that's part of what you do, is you bring people, safe environment, well organized, organizing their travel, bringing them into Africa to experience, and to look eye to eye and care and touch and understand firsthand the situations that's happening there. Tell us about this opportunity.
Well, we've recently moved to Atlanta, Georgia, and so we're in the heartland down there. But really our goal is to get people to travel with us. We do 11-day service trips, and we don't take them to places you took me. We're not taking people into the slum, we're not taking them onto the street, but rather we're taking them to the orphanages where we need so much help.
Yes.
You know, just because the children are living there, as I said, doesn't mean that they have food or even a bed to sleep in. So we're asking people to come and join us. 11 days, a safe trip, clean hotel, clean drinking water.
That's a big concern for most people.
It is.
And even if they're bringing families, because you're having families there as well.
We have young families come. To Swaziland particularly, they will travel at the age of 3 or 4 years old. They'll bring their kids. And to Kenya, 8, 9, 10 years old. But it is a safe environment. It's well organized. Clean drinking water, clean food.
Fantastic.
And they go and they serve. And our children nowadays maybe don't serve as much as we'd like them to, and maybe we haven't presented the opportunity. But here's an opportunity for a family to go, join one of our trips, and help plant gardens, help work alongside Isaac and James and teach them how to harvest a potato or paint a wall or help wash their clothes, and just help that home itself care for these children. And not only does it change the lives of the children we're serving, but it always, always transforms our hearts.
Oh, no doubt about it. Wow, that is fantastic. Now if someone wants to go and connect with Heart for Africa and travel with you, Janine, when are the months that they have this opportunity to go?
In 2009, we have teams traveling to both countries in June, July, and August.
Okay.
And then also during the American Thanksgiving time period in November.
Yep.
And we have a Christmas team that we're sending over this year who will be able to travel and deliver gifts to the children and serve alongside them during their break. And it will make a big difference to a family, rather than sitting under the big tree with the mounds of gifts, to actually take that opportunity to go and serve.
Oh yeah, well you know firsthand, and Kathy and I know firsthand too, because we've taken our children to Africa as well. You're talking Swaziland and Kenya.
That's
People
right.
have an opportunity. I encourage you. I mean, some of you might be planning right now, well, maybe I'm going to go to this exotic part of the world and enjoy the beach and the sun and the palm trees. But maybe you've done that already before. Maybe it's time to visit Africa, and Janine would be a great person to go with. I know that firsthand. And the information's on the screen right now as well for you. The website you can check out. Also, of course, through our website at crossroads.ca, you can always connect with all the guests that we have on 100 Huntley Street. David, back to you. Tell us, how did you end up as a young fella on the streets? Tell us how this happened.
I come from a big family of 13 children, one mother, but various men. So I grew up in a mainstream slum where hygienic standard was so much compromised. There was no water, there was no toilet. So we were living this small room, all this big family, without food. My mom never went to school, so it was really hard for her to provide for the entire family.